It's time. Time to get into superhero stuff, Andy. You ready? Is that the news? What was that?
That was me igniting the flame.
I was like, was that a gun? I thought you were like,
I don't know. I'm not really sure what those sounds
either
were.
way, it's going to end up being a soundbite. Hope you know. Here we are in the DC universe, folks. We got 2 titles to talk about first before we get to our break, and then we got a big feature for you today, Spider-Man, the OG Spider-Man, I call it, 2002. Can't wait. First up, DC, HBO Max. Season 3 of Titans, Episode 11, The Call is Coming from Inside the House. Spoiler alert right now for the episode, came in at 48 minutes, straight from HBO Max. The description reads, while Crane sets his ultimate sights on Nightwing, Gar and Rachel investigate Red Hood's place of rebirth, Donna and Tim reconnect in the real world, and Corey learns the truth about her past. Holy cow, this show is crazy. It's wild. We're in the final 3 episodes. It's confusing as hell, but I can't wait to talk about the story and see where we are, Andy.
We're going to do our best.
I worked this in today during my lunch break, and it was my second time watching it, and it still just feels a little choppy to where, like, why am I not connecting with some of these characters enough? Like, why do some of these scenes feel a little off the wall? But overall, I understand the bulk of what's happening from the top level down, and we do have a very big ending to talk about in this one. Like, we got some, like, there's like the big things at the end are big things. With that said, let's break it wide open. Give me your gut check though first. How did this episode feel? What was the last one? Season 3, episode 10. That title was Souls.
Was it?
No, it was the one after that. Shit, they come back. Troubled Water.
Yep. Good call.
Coming off of that one, going into this one, how'd this episode go for you overall?
Yeah, I think I know exactly what like the show's problem is. There's so many different like storylines, and right now I don't know, are they connecting or what is it just separate? And like we're running out of time to like figure out what's really happening. I just don't know what's gonna, like, we have 2 left, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But
like we got 2 left.
This episode ramped up towards the end to where I'm like, I think this is the incident that is going to kind of set everything off to where the next 2 episodes are going to be like, there's no room for filler. It's going to be just probably nonstop, relentless action, hopefully. And
I hope you're right.
I mean, it's going to be make or break for sure, because we all started, like, this season started off so hot and maybe fizzles off a little bit here and there, but I still have hope.
All right, fair enough. Fair share. I appreciate that. And I feel the same way as you. I think there's a lot going on. And let's just try to break it down and see if we can clear it up for everybody. Let's go by the characters. I think it's the best way to do it. This episode does open up with Jonathan Crane. If you remember, the last episode ended with him in Bruce Wayne's house. He's like, welcome to Crane Manor. Love it. And he's basically enjoying the place. He's
shaving his beard,
using the perfumes and colognes and wearing his clothes. Just hanging out in the Batcave, looking at treasures and goodies, finds his old mask, reminisces a little bit, and then listens to some audio tape of Bruce Wayne basically calling him a lunatic and a loser and probably one of the worst villains of all.
Dude, that was like, could you imagine just your worst enemy just saying everything about you, like all of your worst traits, like you just having to hear that?
Yeah, it's like you and me picking our biggest enemy right now and just like having it out on these microphones, and then them sitting there and he's just listening to it, and he's laughing at first, but then he very quickly is like, F this guy. Like, I'm really upset. Like, I'm not, he wants to prove Bruce Wayne wrong. What does he do? He runs upstairs. He wakes up Jason Todd out of bed. He basically takes all of that frustration and he dumps it on Red Hood, is essentially what he does. He's like, get out of bed. You're going to go out and terrorize the city. We're going to kill the Titans. I want to go after Nightwing. And we find this out how. He convinces Jason Todd to hop on his phone, do a video to the city. And where do we see the video coming from? He's in the Batcave. Who's watching the video? Dick and Connor. So Superboy and Nightwing, they're at that bunker from the last episode. And they see this video of Red Hood saying, hey, enough's enough. No more messing around, Nightwing. I'm coming for you. That's how the episode kicks off. Right, Andy?
Right.
First 5 minutes.
Yeah, you got it.
So right away, Dick's like, I'm going to deal with this. He's going to figure it out. That's kind of like most of the episode is him navigating and talking to everyone, just figuring out, is he going to take the bait and go after Red Hood or not? He's dealing with that the whole episode. Let's go through some of the characters before we get to, like, I'm starting off with the big ones, right? Let's back off to some of the other ones. Starfire. Starfire's got this wild episode.
I don't even know what is happening.
Thank you, because I'm feeling like an idiot. I'm like, do I need to go back and rewatch episodes? I'm also learning my lesson. I feel like, listen, when we talk about season 4 in 2022, if we do, which I'm sure we will, we might have to binge this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think this might be a binge show. Like, breaking, like, every episode, I'm like, but then again, what if? Can't wait.
What if?
Can't wait. But anyway, I don't want to get off a tangent about how we feel about it yet. I'm just frustrated with, like, some of the choppiness. But all right, so Starfire. What do you think happens, Andy? And we'll piece it together. She ends up back at that store where she, like, drove to under her hypnosis that one episode.
There's a baby that she saw in one of her visions.
She sees a baby. Well, there's a mom at the store trying to buy medicine, and she, like, gets a vision of her as a baby, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
Her name's Carly?
I don't remember. Hold on.
Corey. It's Corey.
Okay, my bad. I thought you were talking about the
I don't know. The lady in the store,
the baby lady
that couldn't get her medicine.
Yeah.
And while Corey's talking to this chick, she has a vision of herself as a young child. What does she learn? She learns that she was born with no powers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she learns that, okay, her sister was born a few years later, and her sister is born with powers. But they've already decided that Corey's going to be the next queen. So now there's a conflict of how the Tamaranians do their politics. So what do they decide to do? We'll give the younger sister's powers to Corey. And they do a transfer. And this is the big secret, right? This is the big secret that, like, tore apart her family. This is what set her sister on a path of destruction and revenge.
Yikes.
This is what set her parents out that decided. You remember how bad it got, though? It got worse than that. After Corey left Tamaria or whatever it's called, they tried to, like, kill their daughter. It got, like, even nastier.
Yeah.
This is like a vicious species that, like, kills their own family.
Yeah, her sister killed her
parents.
Yeah.
Because they came after her first.
Yeah.
As we learned in, like, episode 8 or something. Blackfire. So what happens next? This lady with the baby is about to get robbed, and Corey has some kind of powers pretty much activate on her own. This blue shield comes out of her, and it hits this guy, and the baby lady takes Corey back to her house, and they talk more.
She just got her powers back.
Who is this lady?
I don't know.
Like, I was watching it the second time going, who is this? Like, why are they hanging out?
I think she just had a vision.
And then she's just they're just helping each other, basically. So she basically has powers back, but we don't know how. We don't know what kind, right? Like, we just know that they're kind of, like, blue. It seems like maybe they can, like, suck powers, maybe. Like, that's her power, maybe, is sucking powers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, whenever they were in the church in the last episode in Troubled Water, that's what happened, right? Her powers, like, went back to her sister where they, like, belonged.
Yeah, but we didn't see her at all in this whole episode.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not once. I don't think.
No.
All right. Let's move on. That's all. Anything else with Corey?
No.
That's pretty much it.
No,
she's like,
I'm sorry, that's the worst storyline.
Oh yeah, dude. Obviously, did you hear me? Like,
2 seasons is just the last 2 seasons of that has just been not really that interesting. I know the point of the show is to build up other characters, but
yeah, but still, obviously, it's like it's a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Talk about Gar and Raven. Raven's back. Gar and her teamed up, and they're going to look at some place. I forget where they go, but some office building. They're going on an adventure to, like, see if they can find, and they do find, a Lazarus pit. Just get right to it. There's no need to beat around the bush. That's what happens.
Yeah, they saw it in, like, a book in Bruce's house or something like that.
Oh,
That's
thanks.
what they said.
That's what I'm missing.
Yeah.
They saw it at Wayne Manor, and they're like, they put them on this path.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They find it at the very end, but we'll go back to that part.
Go ahead. Oh yes, we'll go back. We're gonna end up back there. Next up, we have Donna Choi. She meets up with Tim Drake in real life.
He escaped the hospital.
He escaped the hospital. She beat her grandma, and now she's here in Gotham.
Beat her grandma.
And now they're like, hey, ghost friends in real life friends. This is cool. Let's do our own thing. He's like, here, let's go back to my house where his parents are, the restaurant. And his parents are like, where you been? They have no idea that he's died. He's like, I'm a little different now, but I'll be okay. And then what do we learn? First of all, we learned in the first 10 minutes, all of the internet and the phones are down in the city.
Didn't we think that his dad was dead for some reason?
I thought his dad was dead too.
I don't know
I thought
where
it was
we
like
got
he
that
killed
from.
my dad. I thought he said like he killed like
I thought he was at that
he just got shot
restaurant when he got shot up, but maybe not.
He was.
Where did we pull that from? Or did he just recover?
He just recovered. He got
And I
shot in
guess,
the
like,
stomach.
yeah.
And he was fine. They didn't seem very worried that he's been gone. They, where you been? And they just started talking. But then we learn, because the internet's down, the phones are down, he has an underground bunker where he's been like training to be a Robin one day.
This was awesome.
It was pretty.
Is this the studio?
Yeah, it kind of looked like
Someday.
It was like a fancier version of the studio. Donna's like, hell yeah, let's do it. She convinces the parents to help them. And then while they're hanging out there, the police come. They're like trying to find the Titans, essentially. And this is going to be like some kind of like safe haven for them now. It's like Tim's bunker. This is how Tim's going to like earn his way into the Titans.
Yep.
Right?
He's got to.
Okay. Anything else with Donna and
We'll
Tim?
see. I bet we'll see him in a suit of some kind by the end of the season.
For sure. Or at least like a mask, like a tease, you know?
Yeah.
Anything else with those two?
No.
Connor, he's back at the bunker hanging out, like where him and Dick were hanging out, and then Dick does decide that he's going to go face off against Red Hood. And he decides he's going to do it himself. He's not going to bring anybody with him. Why?
Ego?
Yeah. This is the punk kid Robin that came in after me. That's always like they've always butted heads. Now he's like a full-on bad guy. He's killed members of the Titans. He's like, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna end him. I'm gonna end him. Is essentially what he's gonna do. And we get a pretty solid fight scene here. Oh, didn't really talk about Jonathan Crane before we get to the big ending. Jonathan Crane is having his own inner demons back at
Good call.
the manor, and he kidnaps a pizza delivery guy, and he ties him to a table, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you, but then he can't like work up the guts to do it. Like he's got like too much self-esteem issues, but then he gets over it, cuts up his own face into a mess, and then he guts the guy. And he guts the guy. He's dead. He kills the pizza guy. So he's got his like kill back. And go ahead.
He complained about the pizza being $25.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and he goes, come on. He's like, look at my place.
Yeah.
Just enjoying it.
Also, the pizza man just walked in the house. Like, there's no way that would ever happen.
And how wrong were we about this episode? Remember when we said you were like, Bruce Wayne's calling from inside the house? I said that the Justice League might show up.
I forgot about that.
Well, they took over Batman's house.
You saw how many beers were on that table. We were.
They took over Batman's house.
Yeah.
I thought it was going. It's still going to go down though.
I think it is.
Like now, Red Hood has taken a video from the Batcave and sent it out to all the public. So let's get back right to it. We're not missing anything else, right? That's all the Titans. All right, to the main event. Nightwing versus Red Hood. Here we go. Big fight in the parking lot. Pretty good. I like it. I mean, it's a pretty even fight. Dick does get the upper hand most of the time, as he should, in my opinion. And he is like using his electric sticks to like electrocute Jason. Jason can't quite use his guns. And then it finally comes down to a moment where Jason Todd is on the ground, Red Hood. Dick has the gun pointed at him, decides, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to kill him. And I thought,
I knew that would happen.
I didn't. I was
really
glad. Dick, I thought Dick might just go over the edge, but he's been on a journey toward the light for the last couple of seasons. So I feel like you're right. We should have known that he'd be like, well, what happens? A crowd of people show up and they're like, we're pro Red Hood. We don't like the Nightwing. And this guy literally shoots Nightwing, hits him in the suit, and Nightwing goes back. He's like, hey, don't shoot me.
I'm good.
I'm a hero. And Red Hood gets up, and Nightwing's like, oh, I got to go back here and fight. What's he do? He starts walking away, and the guy says, no, I am going to shoot you. Bomb, boom, boom, right through the neck. And then Andy? Red Hood runs off. They flip over him on his back while he's bleeding from the neck. What do? They're beating the hell out of him, kicking him to death. Why are they doing this? Well, besides being maniacs and drunk on hallucinogen water.
Yeah, I guess that's about it. I don't know.
What'd you think about this? What'd you think about this fight scene
and
how it went down? What'd you think when he got shot through the neck?
I love the fight scene, but yeah, it was uncomfortable. Like I mean, he's dead, right?
I mean, well, here's the thing. What happens at the very end now?
Exactly.
All right, so he's getting the shit kicked out of him. He's bleeding from the neck. Raven and Gar are at the other Lazarus pit. A different one. A different Lazarus pit, right? It's not Arkham, is it?
I don't think so.
And something starts to happen, like the water starts moving, and then Raven goes into full on, here comes black shit out of my body. I'm gonna scream.
Freak out mode, yeah.
And she goes, something's happening to Dick. That's it.
Exactly.
All right, that's the episode. All right, let's get into it. What we miss and where's it going? And how's it doing?
I guess he's dead, and they're gonna throw him in the Lazarus pit, and he's gonna have a real test of that dark versus light side that you just talked about, because obviously we saw what it brought to Jason. He still, we had times where he thought he was coming to the light side, but
just never
clearly not. So
yeah, but that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, they gonna go down this road now with Dick to where he's gonna have to like fight for his soul?
No,
Do you think he's gonna be on? You think he's gonna be on the other side of the life train again and like go save Hank or something, or like see Hank? Like, is he gonna be dead now too?
No.
We called a lot of this, by the way, early season, like Titans dying.
Yeah, good.
But he's not dead yet.
Yeah, there's no way. He's not dying regardless.
But if he does, Donna Choi's coming in to take over.
Oh yeah, we were talking about her becoming a leader or whatever, but she definitely is like.
That's what Grandma Wonder Woman said.
Yeah, she was taking over like in the house with the family, but like she's like Wonder Woman, and they're just average humans, so whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know, man. This show, I'm just at a loss.
I know,
like, because
I want to love it.
Yeah, exactly. I want to love it, and I'll even say this: in the last 10 minutes, I thought, all right, you still got me, because I'm like, you just put a bullet in Nightwing's neck. I love this character, and I want to see like what all these guys can do. But like, frankly, the last couple episodes were just a little boring.
But I'm excited that the new episode's in 2 days, so that means it's doing something right.
Yeah,
doing something right. If it's 2 days away and I'm pumped up,
like you're pumped up, you're feeling good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep a pulse on it. Anything else on this one before we wrap it up? Me neither. That's all I got. Season 3, episode 11. The call is coming from inside the house. What call?
I don't know.
What call?
That too.
Like,
usually it's pretty obvious.
Like, I mean, they called, like, Jason Todd called from within the Batcave, like, to the world, but like, that was not a good use of the, like, that's what I was saying. The calls coming from inside the house implies that like somebody is in the same house as you, up to no good. There was like none of that going on. But anyway, I digress. This is it. HBO Max, Titans 2 to go. We're going to talk about it. We're going to wrap it up. And it's all found at the DCU library. Of course, mostlysuperheroes.com/DCU. All the DC reviews, connections, everything there waiting for you. Go check it out.
That baby's growing.
Yeah, more and more. I mean, basically because of Titans doing these one at a time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know how we talked about Doom Patrol? And I think that's what we should do. We should do a mid-season finale and then wrap it up at the end. Let's talk about the first 5.
Well, they're already at mid-season now, so.
Well, I'm waiting until it's done.
I know.
I've decided.
Okay.
Because the first 3 episodes went a little slow, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to not do what I'm doing on Titans right now. I'm just going to wait a little while, and then we'll catch up.
It's fair.
That's me, personally. All right. Let's switch it up.